Thank you for joining me for another episode of Taste of Magic. I'm still talking about Planechase cards, and this time we are in Time Spiral block, so we're back on the plane of Dominaria. Dominaria is pretty much the original plane of Magic. Most of the storylines in the blocks take place on Dominaria, including Time Spiral block, Odyssey and Onslaught block, Invasion block, and so on. So the first plane card that we have to look at is Teleria. Teleria refers to a part of Dominaria, which was an island in the tropics, and it was ultimately made into an academy by Urza. Urza made this academy to kind of band together wizards and made a great think tank that would allow him to defeat the Phyrexians, which he was always obsessed with. The next plane that we have to talk about is the Isle of Vesuva. Vesuva refers to a card way back in the early days of Magic called the Vesuvan Doppelganger, which was an early version of the clone. And the way the Isle of Vesuva works is everybody can get copies of other creatures, and then if you roll the chaos symbol, you can destroy copies of creatures. The next plane is Krosa. Krosa is a forest that was visited by Kamal during the events of Onslaught block when he learned how to become a druid. Krosa is known for having giant beasts, and there's also centaurs that live in Krosa. Krosa, the plane card, gives all creatures +2/+2, making them bigger, and when you roll the chaos symbol, you can get a mana of each color, which is attributed to the druids there. And speaking of mana, there's another plane card that deals with the Llanowar elves. This plane card is called Llanowar, and it allows every creature to tap for 2 green mana, not just 1 green mana like most Llanowar elves. Now everybody can get 2 green mana. And when you roll the chaos symbol, you can untap all your creatures and then tap them for more mana. The next plane card is actually an entire continent on Dominaria called Otaria. This is the continent where all the events of Onslaught and Odyssey block happen, and the plane gives flashback, which makes sense because flashback was first in Odyssey block. There's not really any cards that refer to Otaria, but it is referred to in the flavor text of a few cards. The next plane card refers to a great old magic card called the Shivan Dragon, the original big red dragon with fire breathing. Shiv was a mountain island that there were a lot of dragons on, and the card really shows that because it gives all creatures fire breathing. And furthermore, you can get 5/5 dragon tokens if you roll the chaos symbol. Finally is the Talon Gates. This is a spot on Dominaria where there's often big events, and it was originally created when Nicobolus was having a duel. Nicobolus was the oldest planeswalker, and he had the first duel on Dominaria. The Talon Gates refers to the suspend mechanic from Time Spiral block, and it allows all cards to be suspended if you want them to. So that is all the playing cards for Dominaria, 7 in total. Oddly, Dominaria has the second most number of planes, the most going to Ravnica. Dominaria, like I said before, is the main plane for Magic, and most of the sets take place there, like Ice Age, Alliances, Fallen Empires, Legends, Antiquity. So a lot of stuff happened on Dominaria, and Dominaria actually has sometimes changed the way the rest of the multiverse works, including the other planes, such as during Time Spiral when the Planeswalker Spark was changed. And I like Time Spiral Black a lot, so instead of going back to the next plane, which would be Ravnica, I'm actually going to start talking about some of the cards from Time Spiral Block and how they relate to the history of Magic, and then I'll talk about the rest of the planes. So I will see you next episode, and thank you for watching.